Hi guys, we're back. I haven't uploaded in a few weeks, so I hope you've missed me, like I've missed you guys. And I actually had recorded another video to show you, and it was about opening sparkling wine. It didn't quite go as I wanted. There's no major accident, but yeah, it wasn't a great video, so I scrapped that. I'll show you that another time. Today, we're going to look at wine labels, right? You go to the shop, you go to the restaurant, and you're looking for wine. Of course, you're going to look at the label, but then what are you looking for? Let me show you. So, this is a wine bottle. Duh. And when you're looking at the label, they'll usually give you, there's the standard information you're going to get. You're going to get the name of the wine or the winery or the winemaker, and then you're going to get the vintage, which, as you can see, this one says 2009. And you're also going to get the name of the grape, right? So this is a Sauvignon Blanc. You can get a Merlot, you can get a Cabernet Sauvignon, and so on and so forth. And this one right here, I don't know if you can see it. Is it clear enough? Let me give it time to adjust. It says Mendoza, Argentina. And when you look at the back, you also have the name of the producer, and you have a little story about their winery. You have some details about the importer, who brings it into the country, and then you have that's there, which is the, why isn't it here? See, it says 12.5%, which is the alcohol volume. Yeah, and then of course there's that email, that website you can reach them on, and other information. Now, what you need to focus on is, of course, the name of the producer. You of course want to know your grape, you want to know your vintage, and just so we're clear, vintage is the year that the grapes were harvested, okay? So if it says 2019, that means the grapes were harvested in 2019. This is important because you want to know how old your wine is. Is it too old? Is it at its peak? You also want to know, was that a good year? So, okay, that's a bit technical. But yeah, if you want to delve into it, you can be like, oh, how was the weather in this year? Did it produce good grapes, or the grapes not so great? So what kind of wine do I expect, right? Now, you won't always get the vintage, because some wines are non-vintaged, and I'll show you one later on. And you also won't always get the grape varietal, because in the old wine world, which is basically Europe, that's not how they label their wines. So what I showed you is a wine from Argentina, which is not in Europe, if you know your geography. So that is not considered an old world wine, that's considered a new world wine. So new world wines, basically from Argentina, Chile, South Africa, the USA, Australia, New Zealand, they label according to the grape variety. Old world wines label according to place, according to style, and other different ways that might not be apparent to, you know, the regular drinker. And I'll show you that just now. So if I showed you this, okay, so this is our old friend Castillero del Diablo Cabernet Sauvignon from Chile, 2018, right? You can see all of that. You turn the back label, and you get all that extra information, food matching. You also get your alcohol percentage, which says right there, 13.5. But this is pretty much a straightforward label, right? You know you're getting your Chilean wine from 2018, and it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. Fantastic. If you're looking for a cab, you pick this, you'll have what you're looking for. Now, if I showed you this, you have the name of the producer, Mouton Cadet, Baron Philippe de Rothschild, Reserve, great. 2015, you have your vintage, and all it says is MERLOT, and then down here it says Appellation MERLOT Contrôlée, which means the controlled region of MERLOT. Yeah? Now, if you don't know French wines, then you don't know that this wine is a Cabernet Sauvignon lead wine. And the reason I say lead is because in the old world, and especially in France, they very rarely, maybe in Burgundy, but usually they do blends, and especially in Bordeaux. If you're drinking a Bordeaux wine, I can 99% guarantee you that it's a blend. It might be heavy on the Cabernet Sauvignon with a touch of Merlot. It might be heavy on the Merlot with a touch of Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc or Malbec, or if it's white, Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc. They believe in blending. So you have to know that if this wine, it's a Bordeaux, it doesn't say Bordeaux, but you'll have to know that MERLOT is in Bordeaux, and that's how you kind of connect the dots. So I'm sure by this point in the video, you've already sussed out that old world labels are a bit harder to decipher than new world labels. New world labels very direct. They'll tell you what it is, they'll tell you what's on it. And the only thing that you have to note with new world labels is that the more specific they are, which is true with old world labels as well, but as you can see, this one, the Casillero, just said Chile. See that? It didn't say where in Chile. Whereas when we had our trumpeter here, yes, we know it's from Argentina, but they also told us where in Argentina. It's from Mendoza, right? So the more specific winemaker is with where exactly the wine is from, the higher quality you can expect. Now, back to our friends in the old world who want to confuse us as much as they want. We've just gone to France. Now, let's go to Italy. See this wine here? It says Barolo, which is the name of the wine. And it says San Silvestro. This is the name of the producer. So this is the brand name. And it says 2013. And it has this DOCG, which is Denominazione Origine Controllata e Garantita, which is, they're pretty much telling you that this is from a controlled and guaranteed area. This one says Barbaresco, yeah, 2015, and the producer is Enrico Serafino, right there. And it also has the DOCG, Denominazione d'Origine Controllata e Garantita. Now, see both these wines, the Barolo and the Barbaresco? They're made from the exact same grape. These are Nebbiolo wines. But you wouldn't know that from the label. You just have to know that a Barolo is Nebbiolo and a Barbaresco is also Nebbiolo. You just have to know it. I know, very frustrating if you're not really into wine. Now, let's go back to French and New World, just to illustrate the point a little bit further. So this one, South African, it says Fairview, and it says Stellenbosch Merlot. It didn't just say South African Merlot, it said it's from Stellenbosch. See that? And what did we say? When a producer is more direct and has an exact area that they're quoting, chances are the wine is of a better quality. So you have that. At least if you found it on the shelf, you'd know you're buying a Merlot. You might have to turn it all the way around to know that Stellenbosch is in South Africa, but there it is. Let's just give it time to adjust. There you go. Now, when you look at that and you compare it with this, which is a French wine, and all it gives you is the producer's name, Chateau Saint-Jean, and it says here Pomerol. Now you'll just have to know that Pomerol is in Bordeaux, and you'd have to know that Pomerol is on the right bank of Bordeaux, and then you'll have to suss out that chances are this is a Merlot-led wine. So this is Merlot-led, this is Merlot. They'll be, let's just say similar, not so much the same because different country, different climate, different producers, but Merlot and Merlot is the same grape, right? Or at least this one has more of the same grape as that one, because like we said, the French love to blend, especially in Bordeaux. And just one more, when we're talking about the vintage, because all of these had vintage, 2015, 2019, different years. Now, when it comes to areas, especially Champagne, see like this one, this is a Champagne. You'll see the Champagne, you'll see that it's brut, which remember we said means it's dry. It has its alcohol percentage there. This is such a tricky label to film, 12%, but you'll notice nowhere on this label does it give you a year. Okay? And the reason it doesn't give you a year is because most champagnes are non-vintaged, which means they again rely on blends from different years. So it's very rare, and they're usually very expensive, if you find a champagne that is from one specific, where the grapes are from one specific year, and is therefore vintaged. So don't worry about that too much with champagne. The rest of the wines, they'll give you a vintage, right? So I think I've covered everything when it comes to basic label reading. My only takeaway point is, if you're buying wine from the old world, which is Europe, Google is your friend. Because if you don't know what the regions are, what grapes are produced in those regions, what kind of style is produced in that region, then the label might not make so much sense to you. So don't panic because you don't see a bottle of wine that says, from France, that says Cabernet Sauvignon, that says Merlot. Just take out your phone, Google what it says, and then you will know what exactly to expect from that wine. So when you look at a European wine, don't feel intimidated. You're not being ridiculous. They are actually quite challenging to suss out. They're not like the New World wines where they just tell you, yes, this is Merlot, this is Sauvignon Blanc, it's oaked or it's not oaked. You just have to know the different styles in Europe, and they assume that you know, a little bit arrogant. No, I'm joking. But yes, so if that's the only takeaway you take from this video, that you need to Google your European wines, then that's good. If there's anything that I might have missed in the video and you want me to clarify, if anything is a bit confusing, of course, always leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, because that's what helps the YouTube algorithm figure out what to do with my channel. And see you next time. Bye, guys.